What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Now today we're going to be ranting about a watchmaker that's coveted amongst only the most elite of athletes and celebrities and probably royalty, because all of these watches are like exclusively in the unobtainium realm. We're talking Jacob & Co. It's 1:45 p.m. Let's get down to business. Okay, so Jacob & Co. watches. Now, special thanks to my channel members, because I asked them to help me out with this episode. They sent me a bunch of Jacob & Co. watches that they want me to react to, and yeah, they're all really doozies, so let's just get right into it. Okie dokie, guys. So today we have a list of 10 Jacob & Co. watches, and yeah, so the first one I want to talk about is the Opera series. Now, I got sent both the Opera Godfather and the Opera Scarface, so I've kind of put that all in one bullet point here. This watch it's like a music box mixed with a tourbillon, mixed with kind of the Astronomia, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the episode. This is a watch with a 3-axis tourbillon rotating along the spindle with a center dial, and then you can see what looks to be a piano rotating along the entirety of the dial as well. And again, I got sent both the Opera Godfather and the Opera Scarface. Now, what's interesting about these two watches is that Jacob & Co. actually had to get the rights from Paramount and Universal to use the music within their watches, which is kind of crazy. You don't see that very often. Usually you see the studios going to the watchmakers for the watches, but in this case you have the watchmaker going to the studios for the rights to all the branding and of course the music, which is actually really, really cool. Now, is this something I would ever wear? Absolutely not. And I'm a fan of the Godfather trilogy and of Scarface, but that's going to be a theme within the whole episode. I kind of see Jacob & Co. as like moving art, but not something I would ever wear on my wrist. So guys, today's comment in the comment section, I want you to let me know, would you ever wear any of these Jacob & Co. watches, or how do you see them? Is it kind of just mechanical, impressive, moving art like me? Or is it something you would actually want to wear? Which camp are you in? Leave that in the comment section. So yeah, the first watches we had to react to were the Jacob & Co. Opera series, and again, I guess the first bullet point is technically two watches, the Opera Godfather minute repeater and the Opera Scarface minute repeater. Really impressive, not something I would ever wear. Okay, so the next picture I got sent was of a Jacob & Co. Caviar flying tourbillon. Now, this watch's claim to fame is that it's $1.8 million, which actually in the grand scheme of things is chump change. More on that in a moment. Again, if you're not looking at that tourbillon down by where the 6 o'clock would be, you're probably looking at the entirety of the dial and the case engulfed in gemstones. Now, technically, it's almost like this watch doesn't have a crystal, because the whole watch is gems and crystals. Let's take a closer look. I'm confused, actually. Now guys, all jokes aside, of course this watch does have a crystal over the handset and tourbillon, but it's perfectly camouflaged because, again, everywhere you look on this watch, aside from the handset and that tourbillon, it's all gemstones. Now, they have a few iterations. They have one with this kind of ruby gemstone. I don't know exactly which type of gemstone that is, but they have one with baguette blue sapphires on a white strap, which is actually the most captivating to my eye, but they also have one straight up diamond. And the diamond one comes on a bracelet, also engulfed in baguette diamonds, or diamond baguettes. I'm not a jeweler, I'm just a Jew. Whoa! So yeah, specifically this kind of ruby gemstone iteration is about $1.8 million. But again, I said earlier, that's kind of chump change. Guys, who $1.8 million? Because the next Jacob & Co. watch we're gonna talk about costs about 18 million Swiss francs. Swiss francs. 18 million Swiss francs. That's right, this is known as Jacob & Co.'s Billionaire watch because although this watch doesn't technically cost $1 billion, you're probably going to have to be near a billionaire to buy one. Because let's face it, I mean, how many average people that aren't billionaires have 18 million Swiss francs lying around? Not many. Actually, famously, I believe Floyd Mayweather has this exact watch. Floyd Mayweather probably has like every watch on this list because he is a gaudy watch fanatic. That's right, a lot of the watches he likes I would never wear, but you can't deny this is just absurd. Now, when I first saw this watch in the media photos, I thought it was kind of a thinner, like, every time I say thinner, I think of Stephen King's Thinner, Thinner. Put a clip right here.
Sir, thinner.
But I thought it was kind of more of a subdued, if you could call it that, thinner tank style watch. But when you see it in someone's hand and when you see it on a person's wrist, you realize this is one thick boy. Oh my, that's a lot of watch. 18 million Swiss francs worth of watch, to be specific. And yeah, guys, these aren't just like, what, just random gemstones. Those are diamonds. Those are enormous diamonds all over the place. Now, I've actually been able to find the dimensions of this watch. The Billionaire watch from Jacob & Co. is 47.5 millimeters wide and 58 millimeters tall. It's 18 karat white gold, but you really can't see much of the white gold because it's engulfed in diamonds. Now, technically, you can get this watch just with a strap, but why would you? Well, you can get the full Big Bang, and I'm not talking about a Hublot Big Bang. I'm talking 260 carats worth of diamonds all over that case and bracelet. Ridiculous. And if that's not impressive enough for you, this watch does have about a 72-hour power reserve, and it's a manual wind with a tourbillon. I believe the caliber in this one is Jacob & Co.'s JCAM09. Impressive. I don't like it because it's a skeleton watch, and I'm just not into skeleton watches, but if it wasn't, I'd probably buy one. Just kidding. Because it costs 18 million Swiss francs. Okay, so the next few watches we're going to talk about, it's like one theme of watches. And it seems my members wanted me to take a look at probably the most well-known Jacob & Co. series of watches, and it's the Astronomia. And this is literally like a diorama of the universe on your wrist. It's crazy. It's like the Infinity Stones mixed with like a school project. So the first one we're going to take a look at, because I was sent 3 images of different Astronomias, is the Jacob & Co. Astronomia Solar Baguette. And this one is the solar iteration because it seems to have a gemstone that is, I guess, supposed to be the sun on the center spindle. And then you can see the Earth, and then I believe there's a tourbillon and of course the actual time-telling dial moving around the solar axis. Now this one, you're gonna have to contact customer service apparently, but you can find it. It's so funny. Usually when a watch is like super duper expensive, the sellers will be like, contact us for a price. They have that, but then above it, it also just lists the price. So apparently you can buy it secondhand for $480,000. It's less than 18 million Swiss francs. 44.5 millimeter case diameter, 30 meter water resistance rating. Guys, again, that's a pressure rating. It is not a moisture rating. This would not survive even a dip in a glass of water, so do not trust these water resistance ratings. 18 karat rose gold, again, a manual wind movement. This is something I would consider to be incredibly impressive. It's also just nothing I would ever wear. It's absurd. It is absurd, but let's take a look at another Astronomia. Now this one is the Jacob & Co. Astronomia Tourbillon Baguette. This does not have the sun on the center spindle, but it does have what seems to be a crazy amount of baguette diamonds all over the lugs and all over, I guess, the dial, where the dial would be, beneath the whole kind of moving mobile of the Earth, and the time-telling dial, and then again a tourbillon. Crazy amount of watchmaking here. So guys, this is not a dress watch that you would wear under the cuff, because again, this is not going to be like a Cartier tank or even a Reverso, which is a bit thicker than a tank. This is about 25 millimeters thick, and it's because that entire sapphire bubble has to encapsulate, again, that mobile, that diorama, that crazy moving art underneath that bubble. So what sets this apart from that Astronomia Solar? Well, I mentioned this does not have that sun gemstone in the middle, but this Astronomia Baguette actually has 359 baguette cut diamonds all over the place, again, on the lugs, on the case, and right below that mobile. And it amounts to 15.77 carats worth of diamonds. Crazy. I don't know, I would probably choose the Solar over this one because I'm not into a ton of flashiness, but again, I would never wear one of these. What I really do like about these Astronomia watches is that not only does the sapphire bubble, I'm not even gonna call it a crystal, not only does the bubble allow you to look at all the moving bits from the top, but actually over to the side of the watch, like where the side of the case would be. I'm wearing my Seiko Tuna, so this is a little bit of a different price range here. There aren't any carats worth of diamonds on this watch, but you can actually take a look through, again, that whole bubble of sapphire. So you're not just going to miss out on all the cool moving bips and bops on your watch. You can just look at it from the side. That's pretty cool. So again, I kind of see these things as just art. Moving on to another Jacob & Co. Astronomia, and this is by far my least favorite. This is borderline offensive. I hate looking at it. The Astronomia Clarity Spider tourbillon. Now, remember how I've been saying this entire episode, oh, this is kind of just like art that you'd put on the wrist, although I would never really put on the wrist. This is like, you know those like toys that you get out of a like gumball machine? You put your quarter in, you rotate it, and then it, like a little crappy toy is like in that bubble case that you have to like pop open. It's like if you took one of those and you just put a strap on it and then you put it on your wrist. That's what it looks like, because there's this giant, enormous, disgusting spider on the dial, and that's what it looks like. It looks like one of those plastic bubble cases that you put like out of a coin machine, you put a strap on it and you're wearing it on your wrist. This is disgusting. I hate how it looks. Who the heck would want to obscure like the Astronomia movement going on there with this weird, gross spider? I hate it. I have confided in my channel members that if I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything. Nothing in this world, excuse me, could ever frighten me. I'm a beast. I am the scariest thing in a room at any moment in time. Nothing will ever scare me. Except for spiders, all right? And I told them I didn't like spiders, and so what did they do? They freaking sent me a watch with a spider on it. And it's not even as good as the last Astronomia we took a look at, because this only has a measly 80 baguette cut diamonds, as opposed to like that 300 plus baguette diamonds. This is just crap. That's, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's crap. This is crap. Crap. Get it out of my face. We're moving on. All right, the next Jacob & Co. watch. Wow. No spiders, guys. No spiders from this point on. The next Jacob & Co. Wow. You know, now that I'm thinking of spiders, every little thing that I feel on myself, I think it's a... Okay, pull yourself together, Goodman. The next Jacob & Co. watch we're gonna take a look at is their Ghost Carbon 5 time zone. This looks like a lotus root. There's no joke there. It looks like a lotus root. Like here, and then here. We're putting them next to each other. I don't see a difference. And then when I saw this, I saw 2 more images of a similar kind of watch. Now this one is the Ghost Carbon LCD high-tech carbon fiber case lotus root. But then you have the Jacob & Co. Titanium limited edition 5 time zones. So this also has the New York, LA, Paris, Tokyo, and then, you know, your local time zone. But this, I don't know, it doesn't look like a lotus root. This is gonna get me into some hot water. This just looks cheap. It looks kind of cheap. It doesn't look impressive. You see a JC on the bracelet. I don't know. I don't see anything impressive. And then another watch that was sent to me is another Jacob & Co. I'm having trouble saying Jacob & Co. I think I'm having a stroke. Jacob & Co. 5 time zone S4181 diamond bezel. And this kind of has like the world time aesthetic, but it's like stylized. It's like, I don't think this looks nice. Is that okay to say? This looks cheap, and I know it's not cheap. The most recent price I could find on this specific watch is $8,995. So it's definitely, you know, a pretty penny. It's nowhere near the Astronomia or those Caviar flying tourbillons or things like that. It's just these few 5 time zone watches that were sent to me are just not, I don't know. If I had to choose one, I guess it would be the Ghost Carbon, but again, it looks like a lotus root if a lotus root turned into a Decepticon. Or if a Decepticon turned into a lotus root. How does that work? Okay, so we've taken a look at 9 Jacob & Co. watches. I saved the best for last, because when this was sent to me in my DMs of my members only Discord chat, I didn't even know if I could put this on YouTube, but then I recalled a certain episode I made, Erotic Orology. One of my favorite episodes. Not a whole lot of people saw that episode, which is unfortunate. If you want to watch it, check up here. But that kind of pushed me to wanting to talk about this. We're talking about the Jacob & Co. Rasputin tourbillon. 4.6, excuse me. You know, my mom watches my channel. So there's this little inkling that is kind of making me want to, it's like pulling on the reins a little bit, saying like, you know, Jory, probably don't, just gloss over this one. You really don't need to put it in your episode. The Rasputin tourbillon, 47.6 millimeter white gold. Approximately $953,000. And you know, from like the 12 o'clock index, it looks beautiful, right? There's 2 swans and a heart and a bunch of baguette diamonds everywhere, and you're like, oh, how romantic. But then you're like, why? What is that like? What is that like curtain, that window? And then you push like a minute repeater slide, and you see, you know, I'm not even going to describe it. I don't think I can describe it according to YouTube's user policies. Just know that there is birds and bees going on. There is, can I say procreation? I don't know if I can say that. That made me more uncomfortable than the spider watch. Yeah, so this is X-rated, and I will never understand what these hyper wealthy people, like, why do you need that on your wrist? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I am being a bit coy right now, and it's not because, oh, I'm a prude. The time teller's a virgin. Believe me, I hear that all the time. And I'm like, Connie, can you stop calling me names? No, I'm kidding. I hear it from you guys. It's not me being a prude. It's that if you like that kind of stuff, all right, there's like other places you can get it, like the internet is filled with it, right? Or so I'm told, Mom. I don't know. I don't partake. But then why do you need to mix that onto your watch? Like, do you need to see that stuff all the time to the point where it has to be on your wristwatch? It confounds me and it confuses me. And the fact that you're going to spend dang near $1 million for it, I don't get it. But the watch has a tourbillon, so okay. Cool. So there you have it, guys. I know it's not that I've slept on Jacob & Co. watches. Man, I don't even want to talk about sleeping on anything after that last watch. Demonetized. No, it's not that I've been ignoring Jacob & Co. watches. It's that I feel like the only times I've ever spoken about them were on my live stream. But it seems like every weekly live stream I have people asking me about Jacob & Co. watches and which one's my favorite and what do I think about them and would I ever wear them. First of all, they're way out of my price range. Second of all, if I did have that money, there's probably a laundry list of watches I would spend that money on before I ever got a Jacob & Co. watch. It's not that I think they're bad watchmakers. It's not that I think they are utter garbage. It's that I think it's like the Astronomia watches I think are gorgeous in a way that I would kind of put it on a, you know, like on a desk and look at it. I wouldn't want it on my wrist, if that makes sense. So yeah, very impressive, not super my speed, incredibly expensive, incredibly flashy. The Caviar flying tourbillon is yeah, I don't like it. And then the X-rated ones just crack me up. And the Spider one, I don't like it. Guys, I'm happy to make this reaction video. If there's another watchmaker that you want this watch snob to react to, let me know and we can make it happen. And if you want to be partaking in this kind of this crazy group chat that is the Discord members only T3 Army hangout session, then you gotta join the channel, guys. Join the channel memberships. It's a whole lot of fun. It was fun having them send me these watches because they knew what they were doing. But yeah, join the T3 Army, $4.99 a month. You get access to that members only Discord chat, and you get some extra content there. And we do weekly meetups. I believe we're doing it every Thursday now. So that's gonna be a whole lot of fun. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you to all my you don't have to be a channel member to support the channel. I mean, the easiest way to support the channel is just to keep doing what you're doing and watching the content. So thank you for being here. You can check out the affiliate links in the description below. You can check out my personal website, www.thetimetellershop.com. We just restocked. There are, I think, man, I don't know how many watches there are now, but you should check it out. Whole bunch of really cool watches. And yeah, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.